Hey Airsofters, it's Nix again from Helios Airsoft. Today I'm bringing you another gun review courtesy of East Coast Airsoft. The gun I'm going to be reviewing for you today is one that's actually one of my personal ones. It's still a fairly new gun, both in my collection and in the world of Airsoft. There have been different versions of it out, but this one is definitely my personal favorite so far, and in my opinion, definitely one that's going to be capturing a lot of people's attention. Uh, so yeah, without wasting any more time, I'm going to get right into it. So, this is a gun. Yes, I know right now it's a briefcase, but there's a gun inside this briefcase that I absolutely love. This is the case for the ARES MSR-303. So, just off the bat, the gun does come in this amazing ARES proof case, and I'm pretty sure this case does fit TSA's requirements for if you want to take your gun in a plane, travel like overseas, or just go from state to state just for a simple game, or cross country stuff like that. Case comes with the ARES logo embellished on both sides of the case, as you can see, and a clear label at the front of the case telling you exactly what it is. This is the MSR-021 variation, which means this is the titanium steel version. There's another version that comes in dark earth. Honestly, I wish they had made this version in black. It definitely would have completed the overall like spy aesthetic that this gun definitely has. But honestly, I'm not complaining, because when you see this gun, it definitely does bring a lot of attention, and definitely will make you, memorable, to say the least. So, with that being said, time to crack open this bad boy and show you all what you can expect. So, opening the case, first thing that you're going to basically be able to see is going to be the main body of the gun itself. And the case came with some cutouts available for a scope in the part of the case that has just the body. And the second half of the case, which houses the rest of the components, is easily accessible just by swiveling around these locks. There are 4 of them. You just unlock those and the case can swivel open as such. Second half of the case has the remaining parts of the gun. The outer barrel, inner barrel combination along with the hop up is all one piece. And the outer rail / handguard is also one complete piece. And they had a cutaway section that was meant for a bipod, but me personally, I don't really feel like I need a bipod with this gun. It's pretty light, so I basically use that to store some extra mags. Convenient. So with my way of doing this, I was able to fit, just for the record, 4 mags in the case, 2 mags in the section that we made for the bipod, 1 mag in the section that was made for the magazine, and just to fit it, 1 mag in the gun, in the body of the gun itself. So, with just the things, that's for the most part how the case came. Let me show you how this gun fits together. The main pieces of the gun itself are just the 3 main components are the outer barrel, inner barrel hop up section, this piece right here. And I do feel the need to talk about this because this is definitely a feature of the gun. The outer barrel is made out of real carbon fiber to add to the overall lightness of the gun. Don't get me wrong, the gun is still pretty heavy, seeing that it is made out of CNC aluminum, but it's nice of them that they've been able to sacrifice weight where they can. Weight reduction is a very good thing. Second main piece of the gun is going to be the handrail. One thing I do need to say about this rail is it does come with a total of 3 Picatinny rail segments, 1 short one for right here, and 2 that can go along this side and this side of the rail of varying length. I did not use the 2 for the side rail just because I need the space for my hand before I'm holding the gun. But it should be said to a lot of people out there who think it is, this gun is not M-LOK compatible. It is not. M-LOK will not work on this gun. These spaces are much bigger than normal M-LOK segments, so if you do want to try to do anything with this gun, M-LOK style, I do recommend you double checking your M-LOK segment spacing. Otherwise, the that if you put it on using M-LOK, it will probably move around a lot loosely. So just, a warning. And the last segment, of course, is the main body of the gun itself. So I'm gonna put the case to the side for a moment so I can put this all together for you and show you how this all works out. Main body of the gun, you have the stock here, swivels out. You press this button on this side towards the back of the stock. You just press this in as such, stock swivels out. Most of the weight I found from the gun comes mainly from just this, the body itself, which of course is expected. Ironically, the whole gun, when put together, does feel a little bit balanced, but when it apart, you will notice that this is the heaviest piece, which of course makes sense, duh. Before I put the whole thing together, I just did want to focus a little bit on the stock itself. The stock is adjustable, has an adjustable cheek riser and butt stock. This stock is adjustable, you can basically pull out by maneuvering this latch here. You push up on this latch, you pull this out. It's really tight. It's really tight for me, so I can't really probably show you this right now without some tools. But this stock basically extends like that, and you can even raise or lower the back stock to what's comfortable for you to basically rest up against. And of course, you have the adjustable cheek pad, so that's also a nice feature. And yeah, so I will show you how this gun goes together. Main body first, of course. You want your your BB feeder to of course face down towards the mag. The mag doesn't have to be in when you're putting this together, but since it was already in, for the most part, it is what it is. So you're gonna put the outer barrel in. There's gonna be a little notch on top where you want this lined up with the coinciding slot on the gun. Once that's in, the screw bolt thing is here. You're going to basically want to hold the outer barrel in. It will just make it a little bit easier to screw it on because it's easier due to the spring that is inside the hop up, and I will get on why that is important in a moment. But you want to screw that in clockwise or lefty loosey, righty tighty, whichever way helps you to remember that. And then the rail just goes over as such, and it is a firm fit. If you find that putting the rail on and it's still just a little bit loose, you do want this to be snug because you don't want it just sliding off. There is a hex key, which is one out of the two main hex keys that holds the body of the gun together. You can tighten this a little bit, but not too tight because you do not want this being really difficult to pull off. It is held together by this latch here, the takedown lever. This is what you can use to basically make sure that it's tight, but not too tight. You do want it to be a little bit firm because you do want the gun to basically still be stable. And that's how the whole gun goes together. Now, right off the bat, I did have to say one of the cons I did find early about this gun is the wobble of the grip. This is unavoidable, unfortunately. I had tried to the best of my ability to see exactly how tight this can get, and I found that no matter how tight that you turn this screw here, which is what the screw is here for, it's still going to be a little bit of a loose wobble. It is a heartbreaker for sure, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal breaker for me because this gun does perform very well, and while I'm out there shooting, I do not notice the wobble that much. But for those of you out there who do want to have a firm grip, do be aware that the wobble is something that's kind of unavoidable, specifically because of the gun's takedown features. So I just want that to be out there. The gun comes with 11 QD sling mount points. That is the most for any gun that I've seen. So I had to give it to them. That's impressive. Their positions are, you have a total of 4 at the front of the rail, 2 on each side, 1 top, 1 bottom on both sides, for a total of 4. You have 1 in the posterior on this side and 1 on the equivalent side right here, where you can see I've already put 1 PTS sling mount. The next position is back on the stock on this side, and another one on the other side, and there's 1 on the main body right before the stock, where I've placed another sling mount. And then we have 1 on the back on the far back of the stock itself, along on the other side for a total of 11 sling points. So if this gun ever feels heavy, you have no excuses. You can put plenty of slings on this wherever you feel comfortable. So getting into the gun's functionality itself. So the gun is compatible with Amoeba Striker cylinder internals, and it can take an AEG spring just like the Striker. The gun is made by ARES. There has been some communication online, and I do have some miscommunication about whether this gun was fully compatible with Striker internals. As a sniper tech and one who has worked on this gun repeatedly over the last couple of weeks / days, I found that this gun is compatible for the most part with most of the Striker internals. The exception being the hop-up is a new hop-up design for this specific model. The difference between the two being the Amoeba Striker hop-up is light, is not as big as the one they use in this gun. They're both basically the same size, except for this gun, due to the takedown features of this gun, the hop-up is integrated into the barrel by a little metal cylinder piece that basically slides over it, and as a result, they did have to change the hop design just a little bit in order to make that feature work with it. So you can still use VSR-10 hop-up buckings with this gun, or gas blowback buckings with this gun, same as you can with the Striker. So for those of you who have a Striker that's already like pre-upgraded to pretty much perfection, you can swap out your barrel, your bucking, your AEG spring if you use an AEG spring, cylinder, and most of your cylinder internals, and then just swap them over into this gun. You will not lose anything except for maybe a hop-up. If you have a hop-up chamber in your Striker that's a proprietary hop-up chamber, like maybe the Action Army one, you cannot use that with this gun, and I will explain why in a moment. The trigger pull is actually pretty nice. It's a crisp trigger pull. You actually will feel it. It's not a zero trigger like I expected it to be, but honestly, I'm not really complaining. For me, I feel like zero triggers were kind of overrated anyway. But yeah, before I get on to the hop-up part that is very interesting when it comes to this gun, I did want to touch base on the mags a little bit. The mags hold 45 rounds, same as the Striker mags, but at literally about half the size. Normal Striker mags are much bigger than this. These ones are small and made out of metal as well. One thing I will say is that I did notice that some of the metal pieces of the mag did seem to like break off a little bit rather easily, like they were a little bit brittle, but it doesn't seem to impair or impede the magazine's function as it goes into fitting into the gun, so I'm not going to complain too heavily on that count. Plus, it's a sniper mag that holds 45. In airsoft, that's pretty rare. Most snipers, as you know, hold usually about between 20 to 30 rounds. I have not yet seen a sniper that has been able to outperform the Striker when it comes to mag capacity. So ARES still has something good going for them on that pound. So with all that being done and said, I can finally get into cylinder and how the gun works. This is, as previously mentioned, a very interesting design, I would say, and it definitely has most to do with the takedown features of this gun. On the bolt pull, you will find that instead of basically having immediately an empty space, the back hop-up section here is basically moving in back along with the cylinder to basically cover up the feeder hole as you're basically pulling back. This is good for two reasons. One, you basically do not have to worry about having it be a long bolt pull, really short bolt pull similar to the Striker. Two, a problem I found with the Amoeba Striker AS01 was that with certain bolt pulls, you would have to basically worry about your magazines exploding into the cylinder. That was a problem I found very annoying. It's the whole reason I moved up to the AS02. The problem probably could have been an easy fix, but honestly, I was too lazy at the time. This new design eliminates that problem altogether by having the hop-up chamber basically cover up the feeder when you're already feeding one BB in. So that's a cool design. But there is a new problem that poses, and that lies in the hop-up itself. So anyone who's had the Amoeba Strikers, you all know that they are probably one of the most annoying hop-up placements of any sniper out there. Especially if you're using a scope, and with a sniper, you're using a scope. Now, if you're out there using a sniper with iron sights, you know what? I just have nothing but respect for you. Go ahead, prestige 5 more times while you're at it. With this one, you do have to use, just like the striker, you have to use an Allen key in order to adjust the hopper from above. That's irritating for a number of reasons, even if you're not using the scope. But for this gun, I will say it's particularly infuriating. The Allen key used to adjust the hopper is smaller than the one that is normally used in the striker, a whole new different size. And another the most annoying thing is the screw that you use to basically tighten in the Allen key is way smaller than it was on the striker. As a result, if you have your Allen key screw that in a little bit too loose, it will not be able to basically go back for this system, and as a result, it will basically get caught. You will not be able to feed your BB right. Your mag may still explode into it, and a whole host of other problems. So that is very irritating to me. I do not like that feature, but as a result of the whole gun being able to take down, they had no choice but to do that. So I guess it's pros con list essentially. Once you get your hop up and everything situated, you shouldn't have to worry about that problem anyway, but you do want to be aware of that. Safety is probably the last thing I just have to mention. It's very convenient location. Just a little switch right here, pressing back, gun's in safety, and then you just press back to make the gun live. And that's basically the gist of this. This gun is definitely really, really cool. Definitely adds to the spy / secret agent / assassin motif. I do love this gun, even with all the, well, not all the, basically the two main negatives I had about this gun was literally just the grip and the hopper placement. But other than that, it's a really beautiful gun. I would definitely buy this gun again if I had the opportunity to. I will admit, I probably should have gone with this gun in Dark Earth, just a little bit easier to camouflage, but I won't deny I do like being the center of attention occasionally. Just a little thing I had to work on. But the gun's amazing. I had the opportunity to use this gun up at Outdoor Extreme in Chesapeake City just the other day. I will not be posting the full video, as I do admit it did get really, really hot that day and I did suffer a little bit of heat stroke. But I will be posting a few of the clips from that video into this video just to showcase some of the features of this gun. So stay tuned after the review and you can see some of my best shots that I performed with all using this gun, and with a total of 4 mags. So yeah, I guess that's mostly it. Keep the video short and sweet. This was the MSR-303 Takedown rifle review by me, Nix. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you love the videos, just, don't forget to subscribe. It really means a lot to me. I love all you guys. Take care, and always remember, airsoft is fun. Fun for everyone. You guys take care.